Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Frame Drop F1. I don't obviously have a set together or anything like that, but I love F1. I know it's a pretty large, it's a growing sport in the United States. F1 has just been something I've loved. I've loved motorsports for the longest time. I'm just going to try to recap everything that I can. So I sincerely appreciate you all tuning in from the States. If you're overseas, welcome. I haven't been involved in the sport as long as most of you have. It's fairly new here. By fairly new, I mean like the fan base is starting to actually grow a little bit. We saw 30% growth on what we view here on ESPN in the United States. So this is going to be awesome. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and review qualifying for the French Grand Prix this year. This is the Frame Drop F1 channel. Feel free to check out our other channel for Frame Drop Gaming. Uploads every Wednesday. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and down below. Hit that notification bell, and let's get moving. No fancy graphics. I'm not that well versed yet. My computer took a nosedive, so we're doing this all on my phone today. Anyway, so Yuki Tsunoda coming in 20th place, wrecking out again in qualifying. He's wrecked out of 4 of the last 7 races this year, so we'll see how it shakes out. Red Bull Racing, obviously not the team that is going to nurture a driver. They expect results. Yuki Tsunoda, obviously a great driver from F2. We'll see how it plays out for him this year. Just needs to keep his mouth shut a little bit sometimes, I think. Just always yelling at his race engineers to shut up, cursing at him, everything like that. I don't think Red Bull's a team that's going to deal with that, so we'll see how that plays out next year for him. Lance Stroll obviously obstructed and Q-in with that wreck at the very end of the session, getting the red flag from Mick Schumacher. Totally fine. I think Stroll could possibly get in the points there, if not close to it. We'll see how tire strategy works out for him. But Aston Martin's really get things moving in that Mercedes engine. In 18th place, we have Nikita Mazepin. Obviously, it's a Haas. I mean, anything above the bottom row for a Haas, it's a good start. Raikkonen in 17th place in that Alfa Romeo, the legend, the 40-year-old. Nicholas Latifi with that Williams almost getting out of the bottom session. He was off by less than 1/10 of a second. Actually, sorry, I lied. 1/10 of a second he was off. So we'll see how he does. I don't expect him to get above 15th place. Mick Schumacher made it out of Q1 for the first time. So that is a great accomplishment for him. Even though he wrecked out, still out of Q1, starting 15th place. George Russell right there in 14th. I think it could be a decent battle for a little bit between George Russell and Schumacher. I expect George to pull away, and then Latifi and Schumacher kind of battle out. I think the main battle there is going to be between Russell and Giovinazzi there, since they're pretty much equally matched in those cars. I think Alfa has a little bit of more of an advantage with everything, but George, he's just going to be able to push it. Keep eyeing George next year for that Mercedes seat, that second Mercedes seat, and that's just my opinion. Valtteri, who's currently, I think he's starting 3rd. I'll check. Yes, he's starting 3rd. Just hasn't been putting in performances this year, and we'll just see what happens. I know Mercedes isn't the team that settles for anything but excellence. Seb Vettel coming in 12th place right now. I would say I want more out of Seb, but he's been kind of struggling qualifying a little bit. Came in 2nd place last race after qualifying 11th. So hopefully tire strategy can carry him. Just needs to get those initial qualifying runs in better. Ocon coming in at 11th on there. Signed a 3-year deal with Alpine recently, so that we'll see that extension going. So it really seems like they're going to build that car around Ocon. Alonso, he's obviously getting older. He came back to the team this year. Also partial team principal as well. So driving the car and being able to development, I do think that'll be something that would be valuable for them. In 10th place, we have Ricardo. He's just not. I just don't feel like that McLaren is clicking for him. He's kind of where he was last year with Renault before Renault changed to Alpine. But I do think that he will hopefully before the end of the year start getting things clicking. Again, like we said, Alonso is in 9th place on there. Partial driver, partial team principal. I really think that they're going to get a lot of good data, and I think Alpine in the 2022 season can definitely get some things moving on there. In 8th place, Lando Norris, Ricardo's teammate, obviously the future of McLaren, signed a massive deal with them. The future of the sport. I was really hoping, honestly, that Norris is going to be able to cement himself there as making McLaren the 3rd team. I'm a McLaren fanboy. I've loved McLaren. I'll talk praises about pretty much every team. I just really like Lando and Ricardo as individuals that make me laugh. But moving on to Ferrari, Charles Leclerc coming in 7th spot. He was saying over the radio he was having some problems on there. We'll see what's going on. Hopefully it's not another drive shaft issue like in Monaco. Pierre Gasly. This is what I was talking about with Yuki Tsunoda down in 20th place. Pierre Gasly is putting that car in positions that it should not be in. He is pushing that car to the limits on old parts from last year, and Tsunoda really just needs to start getting himself in the Q3. I mean, that's plain and simple. If Gasly can do that in his AlphaTauri after coming back, getting demoted from Red Bull to AlphaTauri, really had a solid season last year, but has really put the car through its paces, just showing what that car can really do, and just his racecraft has improved dramatically. Carlos Sainz in 5th place, really, I think out of everybody that made a switch this year, he has done the best for himself. I mean, look at the results he's getting in that Ferrari. He is dominating in that Ferrari for what that engine can do. Obviously, they don't have the power that they had in 2019. You guys know, most of you know what happened with the engine and the sensors and everything like that. So they're really making things work with that aero kit and the new engine this year. We'll see how things shake out in 2022. So 4th place, Sergio Perez, Checo, really starting to get that Red Bull underneath him. I can really tell like that he's just comfortable with the car. Obviously was with Racing Point last year, was let go from the team, found out overhearing a conversation between two individuals. So we'll see how everything turns out for him this year. I really think that he can be coming top 3 in this driver championship. If Valtteri starts getting his stuff together in that second Mercedes seat, we'll see. That's going to be a good battle there for 3rd spot. Obviously, 3rd place, Valtteri, Bottas. I can't say his last name for some reason. I can't do that. The European Bottas, butt cheeks. You know, you guys, Valtteri butt cheeks. So, Drive to Survive Season 3, there's just a randomly weird sauna scene where they Drive to Survive, like, oh, let's show off his physique, and just shows off Valtteri's ass out of nowhere, but it's whatever. So Valtteri 3rd spot, hopefully. We'll see how everything goes. Lewis Hamilton in 2nd spot. The last 2 years that we've had this race, he's came in pole position. The little interesting thing that's happening with Mercedes right now is that Lewis Hamilton is now driving with the same chassis that Valtteri started the year with, and Valtteri is now with Lewis Hamilton's chassis. So they basically just switched chassis altogether. So we'll see what happens. And rounding everything out, the Flying Dutchman himself, Max Verstappen. We'll see how he can handle everything off. But, I mean, for everything that's happening, Red Bull just seems to be doing everything right the last few weeks. Max is just really, really crushing it with this car. He feels comfortable with this car. Before the new regulations come out for next year and the new cars are like actually on the road, I think this is going to be his best shot, because obviously Red Bull is going to have to deal with the new engine thing since Honda's pulling out the all new car. So if there's a year for Max to do it, at least his first time, because I think he will be a multiple world champion, it's this year. I really think that Red Bull has the best shot to win the Constructors' Championship just because they have such a good second driver in Checo. But we'll see how it all plays out. Thank you all again for checking us out. I am Frame Drop Andrew. This is Frame Drop F1. Check out our other channel, Frame Drop Gaming. Uploads every Wednesday. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and let me know other content that you'd like. I'll do my best to do a race recap next week or tomorrow after the race. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. I don't have any fancy outros yet, so it's just this. Cut to black.